Hey, yo, Mo, I'm fucking with this.
What's up, my people? This is Zeta Godson, and you just tuned in to Talk About It, a new podcast to shed light on Black and Brown excellence and to also bridge the divide that's in our community. Today, we had our first show live on Zoom. It was great. I was able to get individuals together that I knew personally who I worked with, either it being realtors, teachers, financial planners, poets, videographers, and we all had an open discussion on no justice, no peace. If you would like to follow us, please do so on Instagram. That's Talk About It 5. Once again, that's all lowercase, Talk About It 5. We're building our community within our Black and Brown people, and definitely just connecting them to resources that at a time maybe they weren't able to have or had at hand. So I definitely want to be that connect. And I definitely want to have open discussions that need to be talked about, not just at home or just on a post feed. So once again, my name is Zeta Godson. I live currently here in the Bay Area, and I'm always around poets because I'm a poet myself. And I definitely want to approach it in a different way and give everybody a platform to speak their minds and also come together as a team and do something. And you guys will witness this here in this video, like I mentioned in the beginning. So I'm glad to announce this is our first show on Talk About It. So without further ado, let's talk about it. Have the floor. You guys will have your 5 minutes. Now it only looks like it's 5 people, but maybe more people will join. So I don't know how to go about this really right now. We'll just go off the limb, but I wanted to start off with 5 minutes at first. Maybe that's a piece that you want to share, poetry or whatever, or maybe the work that you're doing, and just have it tied to what we're talking about today. As you guys see in the picture right there, is a couple of lives that have been taken away throughout the years of it's just wrongful and right in front of our faces. And this is presented by me, Isaiah Lasoya. I go by also Zeta Godson. If you guys want to follow us on Instagram, go to Talk About It 5. That's all together and all lowercase. Talk About It 5. If you guys.
Now is the time to plot, plan, strategize, organize, mobilize. It is time to
plot, plan, and strategize and organize and mobilize.
It is time to hold mayoral office accountable, chiefs and deputy chiefs. Atlanta is not perfect, but we're a lot better than we ever were, and we're a lot better than cities are.
And we burn fires and we tear our communities down. And then within a month, everything simmers down and nothing happens, and we still have the same system in place. And people, I think this time it's just like, nah, we're not having it this time. So I think that there's going to be way more. I pray and hope that this time there will be way more follow through with getting into the system. I was talking to someone else today about really, talking about what, when you say mobilize, making a change, is we have to show up for when they're voting in these senators. We have to show up when, we've got local people that are, affecting our laws and stuff that happen with us right here. It's not just about voting for a president. It's like right in your community, getting involved with those votes, because it matters who these prosecutors are and, the system. And we really have to get involved.
Like one of the things that I do is I do like a Black business threads, and one of the things that they introduce themselves, what their business is and what it is that they need, like, and other people are able to go and facilitate and help and like coordinate those needs. Like there's also, today we had the Yes Honey Collective Story Summit. So one of the things that I've been doing.
I'm sorry. And for anybody who's new to Zoom, I'm sorry, Tirza, can you press mute on your screen? Just put the mute button on the mic so there's no background. Sorry about that, Tirza.
Oh, okay. So today we did the Yes Honey Collective Story Summit. And so one of the most powerful things you can do while we're still here, like just something active, is documenting your story, documenting how you move, how you think. Because one, we don't know how long we're gonna be here and stuff in general. Like I have 3 friends that I've lost that have been under the age of 30 in the last year. And none of, like, they were educated, they like took care of their families, things like that. But the big thing is a lot of them didn't document where they are at. A lot of them didn't have wills. So things that you can do for fortifying your own house, your own community, tell your story, document your story for your kids, for your family, because even if it's up to now, like I always like to give the example of, what's her name? Anne Frank. Like we've been reading those stories in schools for years and she was a kid. So just imagine if our community started documenting like their stories and their journeys now versus waiting until they're old enough to like, have great success and like want to write a book and stuff and tell people about it and sell it to the masses. So in the Yes Honey Collective Story Summit, and I'll try to keep this pretty brief, we share each week different stories, different experiences from business owners that are across the spectrum. Today we had a Black therapist that was on, but she does therapy through a spiritual lens. We've had, recruitment people. We've had everything from poets, designers. My father came on and spoke about his experience working in companies and creating his own companies. My little sister came on and talked about her owning her different brands. But part of the reason why that's important to do actively is because our instances, like the other day, I spoke on a summit with NASA reps and things like that. And my client was one of the people who organized the program that, a digital summit similar to this. And afterwards, I got a text message from him, from somebody who attended. It was one of the kids that said, "Hey, I'm so thankful we did this. Like, it was divine intervention." And he's like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, the white boys from around the corner came and shot up the neighborhood and stuff. And normally I'm outside around this time. So when you're acting in your gifts, if you're able to show up in ways like this, you don't know necessarily what the impact is until you start building that momentum to see how you can change where people would normally be by just producing like these type of events for people to come together around shared messages. So I don't have a solution to get racist cops to stop killing us. I don't. But what I do have is the ability to change the position where we fall in the community and change the way that we protect our stories and our message and the way that we package them in a way that is fortified and making sure that those people who are business owners have what they need to keep on going so that they can continue to service their customers. Because if I have a Black business owner that has Black customers, then I'm taking care of more of the community than if I was just servicing myself. And that's always the mindset that I kind of operate with. So I'll drop the information for the Yes Honey Collective Story Summit in there. It's a free event. Like I said, we do it every Saturday at 11:11. I am exhausted from 7 weeks. I'm working to build a team out, but it's something magical every week in terms of the people that are coming together. Usually there's anywhere from 6 to 8 speakers. And we're pulling some big names. We've got the head of multicultural marketing for Cadillac that's come in. We've had people who have worked for like Ford that have come in to speak, and some of the big names in like the Silicon Valley and things like that too, as well as people that are, like I said, on my level, you know, and from my community.
All over the place, because with his words is powerful, but it's not about destroying where we are. Like I just heard in Minnesota that they're moving on to the affluent neighborhoods and burning stuff down and doing that in those neighborhoods. So if that's what's going to happen, it needs to be outside of our community. For my community, it's about, like I said, getting the word out and showcasing who we are. So I'm basically the cheerleader for the community. So like I take the pictures and I show the talent behind everybody. I show the drive behind everybody. And currently we're working on it's a features battle, and it's 2 poets, and we're really just showcasing the artistry in the community. So I have 6 people, 6 spoken word artists from the Bay who are performers, and they're gonna go 5 poems back to back, and y'all gonna be able to see like the talent in the Bay, giving the Bay that healing. I pick these people specifically because their words heal. So yeah, about healing and promote people around me.
You know, being an entrepreneur myself, trying to, you know, show them business, college, you know, and my daughter worked at a police department. Yeah, go figure. So she probably not being liked right now. So I have all of this on my plate as a mom, as a wife, as an aunt, as a sister, as an entrepreneur, and a Christian woman. So, you know, my wheels are always turning. But I do believe in God, and I do believe that He's going to protect them. And I know this world needs to be healed. And like the gentleman said in the video, we got to plot, plan, and organize, though. Is a way to do it. We can't just go, you know, with our heads. We got to do it with our hearts, too. So, yeah.
And with that being said, Mrs. Clark, can we just go with you? And can you talk about what you're currently doing right now? I know you touched on a little bit, but can you talk about what you're currently doing right now? Like you're working at Stag, and I mean, we all know about Stag. If you're from Stockton, that's a very tough, you know, school right there. There's some baby kids that you're dealing with, and no.
Don't talk about my babies. I'm sorry.
Don't
talk about my babies.
No, they're very talented. Very talented.
Yes.
Very talented and very, very smart.
At Stag, I am I'm the social worker at Stag. So I do home visits all the time. I go into their homes and they come into the school. And I love it. People think I'm crazy, you know, but I love going into the home, sitting and listening, because then you get a whole sense of why this child is like they are. and the mental illness that's already going on in the home that you can see when you walk in the door, that when they come to school and they are acting out like they are, and all the teachers want to do is send them out, send them out, send them out, and where they really need to be is inside. So I'm the middle person. I'm like, I go in and I'm the advocate for those children because I love all of those children. And it is tough. Been cursed out, called a B this year, first time ever, but it's okay. But the thing about it, before she left out, her and her mom was crying and hugging me. Simply because I know how to respect her, because I know she was hurting or something is not right, and I'm not cursing her back out because I don't curse. But it's still a sense of the mental illness that's going on rampant in our schools and our community, Black community, brown community, that we don't address because we're Black. You don't get a counselor. You don't get a mentor. You don't get someone to talk to because you're Black. Ain't nothing wrong with you. That's what they would say to us. I'm probably older than anybody in the group, and that's all I heard. But today I know better. We need to get that help when we need that help. We need Trezar. We need that mentor. I need you. We need one another to mentor. And I'm in the groups like this as well, mentoring groups. And one thing they said is you can't get to the next level without a coach. LeBron didn't get where he was without a coach. Dr. Phil didn't get where he was without Oprah. So we all need somebody to get to the next level of where we really need to be. And if we don't have that mindset, that's why so many lost. I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna turn it back over. I've been in contact with one of my students who were killed the week before we were sheltered in March. And I've been in contact with his mom. He was a senior, Afro-American boy in the mall. You probably heard about it at this mall in Stockton. He was my student. And I had just met with him and his mom in my office, not even a week before this. Very respectful. But now talking to mom is a whole history behind it, Isaac, fostering and all of that stuff. Whole history behind it. I didn't know until mom told me after his death. So needless to say, I still stay in contact with her. I made all the senior garb, to give to her for him. But we have so much mental illness. And when we see all these people looting and we see all these people running in and fighting police in your right mind, yes, we can be angry, but we don't have to do what they're doing. That's not setting a good precedent already. But then when we're looting and we're being aggressive, and some of the police I saw was being aggressive, I'm not gonna say there wasn't. And I'm texting my daughter, like, what y'all doing over there? But, as a whole and as a human race, we should have compassion, empathy, sympathy for one another. And we have, as a society, lost a lot.
Right now, it's very important that I, maybe find people who know, who actually, go out and protest, because there's certain groups that, this is what they do. This is their specialty. This is what they do. But my main focus is for our youth and our future, because they're our future. And I just heard a young girl say that she's graduating. It was on someone's Instagram. She said, I'm 16 years old and I'm getting ready to graduate, but I don't even care about college because I don't even know if I have a future ahead of me. And that broke my heart, because you have these young kids. We have the COVID now, we were already inside, and then you have all this going on, and they don't even know if they're going to have a future. They don't know how to feel, So finding out things like this, I don't know if I'm even answering Isaiah's question right here. Right. But it's just right now, I feel that we need these platforms. We need the connection with everybody that's on here, if you don't mind. Like I said, I deal with a lot of youth. So I want them to know every outlet that's out there for them.
Say less. This poem I'm gonna do for y'all is dedicated to my daughter, and I address that issue and the issues of raising a black child in this country as a black man. Hope you enjoy this poem. It's called Tea Party. I never knew I reached a place where watching animation movies would make me want to cry. From Aristocats to Zootopia, you can see my heart breaking on its sleeve. Girl, you got me all inside out. Just because in the microphone, I am known to leave people hanging on to my each and every word like a pair of shoes off power lines. I am no iron giant. In fact, I feel powerless by the hour. I had a nightmare before Christmas that you were on an episode of Love and Hip Hop. Ooh, I'm still trying to process that. It was just yesterday. I was make-believing in a pillow fort. Each rug was one command away from becoming a magic carpet. My first crush, her name was Jasmine. Damn, she was bad. She got a family now, so whatever. What an ice age ago, what a whole new world it is now. See, back in the day when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore. The most important questions were asked, what's up, doc? Or who framed Roger Rabbit? Now I have a deal with a pair of brown eyes asking me, Daddy, 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 what's wrong with being Mexican? Or Daddy, 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 who was Tamir Rice? I call your grandfather. I can hear BB King in the background. Nothing as hard as trying to explain to him why his granddaughter cannot play in the backyard with a BB gun when her skin is the weapon. Some days I want to be brave. Some days I want to be Peter Pan again. Both days I'll look you square in your face and remind you to focus on the promised land before you Akuna Matata, your way through these divided states. What an American tale. 400 years ago, our ancestors were brought here against their will, so your lungs know of the ocean breeze far greater than Popeye the Sailor Man. And if a classmate ever tell you that a black girl with dreadlocks cannot be Little Mermaid, release the Kraken. Remind them our gills are as battle-tested as a salmon swimming upstream, and our people know about holding their breath under the sea. See, beneath the soil there is substance. Within their beauty there is a beast. And before you ever took a step into a classroom door, you already graduated from Monsters, Inc. You are Maleficent to me. You are Maleficent, period. Even the boogeyman under your bed knows better than to start beef. But if I ever get caught up in a stampede, if you're ever craving a fatherly touch and I'm not within physical reach, tilt your head up there. It could be raining cats and dogs, or cloudy with a chance of meatballs. But either way, like your ancestors, I will be watching over you. Remember who you are. I said remember who you are. And no, I never taught you how to train a dragon, but you've been a fighter since the very first hiccup. Ain't no character from the MCU developed half the character you did when he fought for your life in the ICU. So whether or not you use a mega mind, your happy feet, or choose to sing Mija, there's a world out here, and you can be anything. We're only here for a wrinkle in time. Trust me, I know my grades are going by turbo mode. I went from giving you a bubble bath in the kitchen sink to tea parties where the guest list closed. 101 Dalmatians tangled between beanbags. We got so many Toy Stories, but frozen away is the memory of us growing old together, and that is a sight worth melting for. I never saw the day talking about animation movies would make other people want to cry. But that was before you made a man out of me. And I'm so sorry for my inconsistency. My own mind plays tricks on me. And fighting my flesh is a daily chore. I just want to give you the kind of childhood you don't have to spend your whole adult life getting therapy for. So to wake up tomorrow and say, Daddy, 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 I want to be a good dinosaur or a chingona or a bad mother, shut your mouth. Be it. Be as thunderous as the second you were born.
Thank you all for tuning in to talk about it. That was our first show. We had an open discussion like you guys saw on No Justice, No Peace. If you guys were able to grab any jewels from any individuals, please go follow them. Or, you know, if you don't know how to, definitely DM me and ask me any questions that you may have, or ask me if you need to get connected with these people, because that's what we're all about here at Talk About It. I'm your host, Zeta Godson. For more information, updates, podcasts, or any merch, please follow us on Instagram at Talk About It 5. Once again, that's all lowercase, Talk About It 5. Peace until next time.